How do you grow a business? How do you raise money to grow a business? These are the deep thoughts of today's vlog. Let's go! Here we go. To the airport again. Los Angeles! That is how you know you're in Los Angeles. A little side junket, had to stop into B17 Productions to do a quick voiceover for this TV show I've been working on for months now. If you've followed the vlog, then you know what I'm talking about. We're still waiting to hear back from the network, but I have to do a little voiceover work. We'll see if it gets picked up. Working on a show for a major cable network. Hopefully it happens. A little bit of exposure for LoveSAC, for the brand. Meanwhile, I'm off to my second meeting of the day. I am en route to this investor meeting. Celebrities, high net worths, give me your money. We need to grow.
Clear scope of how that's going to go, so I'm excited about that.
All right, cool, man. Good work. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime, and if you need anything else, just let me know.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right, bye.
Bye. So I can have a meeting anywhere, as anyone can. That's what's cool about, you know, the mobile connected generation, man. I'm in Beverly Hills, a few blocks away from this fundraising event, and had an important phone call, pulled over, made some plans for next week. Lots of cool stuff coming. We're at Beverly Hills. Here we go. Let's go get the money. This right here, this is the LoveSAC family. Look at that. We got the finance guy. We got two of our best California store leaders out here, just kicking butt, set this place up. I think it looks right at home in this house, in this $25 million house. What? $25 million. The property taxes alone, I think, are like $350 a year. That's messed up. That's messed up. Who lives like that? You know, I'm back at the airport. LA to Salt Lake City. There's always happy meetings in the Salt Lake airport. It's a place where families come to welcome people home. Happens a lot here. Lots of missionaries going in and out of here. Pretty cool. I'm here in Salt Lake for, you guessed it, more investor meetings, which is a perfect segue to talk about what we're here to talk about. How to prepare your company to raise money. How to raise money. Here it comes. Hello. Hey. What's up, brother?
How you doing?
You see my vlogs yet?
Your vlogs? Hey, how you doing?
You're on it.
I'm on it.
Matt McConkey, former missionary companion, one of my best friends in the world.
Hey, world.
Meeting with Matt, networking to some of his friends who, high net worths who, you know, might take a look at LoveSAC. It's a lot of what I do these days. So, what I'm talking about on the vlog today, Matt, how do you prepare your business to raise money? Matt's raised his own money in his life, and in fact invested now, and he's doing real estate stuff.
You gotta have track record, you gotta have reputation, you gotta have numbers that prove something, you know, and you gotta have a story to tell.
There it is.
Shawn's got all that.
There it is in a nutshell. We'll go over it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Raising money never rests. Finally have just a couple minutes while I'm waiting for my next meeting to show up. The It's fine Salt Lake morning. Thought I would share my quick 7 tips on how to raise money, how to prepare your business to raise money, how to get it done. It can be a mystery to first-time entrepreneurs and to people who just aren't even associated with this kind of thing. Tip number 1, pretty obvious: run a good business. Run a good business, build a good business. Build something that's unique, that doesn't exist, that actually the world needs. Don't just be another one. Of course, you can compete as another one. You can just open another restaurant. You can just, open another gas station or do something like that. It can be difficult, though, to attract investment if you're just another one. Number 2, you gotta know your strategy and you gotta prove your strategy. So what's a strategy? A strategy is how you're going to be different, how you're going to go do what you want to do, what you plan to do. But you got to prove it too. So it's one that you got to be able to communicate. You got to put it on paper. You got to draw it out. You got to make it clear to someone who's never seen this before in very short, succinct, clear sentences and visuals so that they can understand what you're trying to do and how it's unique. And then, of course, you've got to be able to prove it. How do you prove it? You go do it. You go do it for a little bit. You do it enough that it's like, look, this is working. Or you find a way to prove it mathematically or through research or some other way. Oh, and look who's here. Take a minute to have breakfast with my niece, Jessica. We met her in Atlanta on an earlier vlog, you might remember. Always take time for family. Number 3, you gotta know your numbers cold. What does that mean? It means when you go into a meeting with a potential investor and they start firing questions at you, how much are your margins? What are your operational efficiencies?
Cash on cash return, what's the IRR? What are the potential downsides? Am I gonna have to come up with additional capital or additional cash? What are the risks?
Okay, so cash on cash return, IRR, if you don't know what those mean, it's all right, right? Because at one point in your life, you didn't know what those meant either.
Exactly.
How did you learn what those meant?
Just hitting the street. I'm a street smarts guy, not a book smart guy, so I've just read books and networked with other entrepreneurs. And
you ever been in a deal asking for money where they asked you a question like that and you didn't even necessarily know what they meant in the early days?
All the time. And so on that, my tip on that is don't fake it. If you don't know something, tell them you don't know and you'll get back to them.
Oh my gosh, genius.
Your research, figure it out, and come back with a very calculated, knowledgeable answer, and they're all the more impressed.
I 100% condone that. If someone asks you a question, a stat, a number, a figure, you don't even know what it means, and you kind of like stumble through or say something like faking, I promise you that person who's a savvy investor, they know you're faking it. Don't fake it, you don't need to. Either know your numbers cold or tell them you don't know. Know your audience. What do I mean by that, Joe? Know your audience.
You've got to know exactly, obviously, who your buyer is. So, for example, in my home building company, I know that 82% of my buyers are between the ages of 25 and 40. So I know exactly what those type of people are looking for in a home, exactly what they want, and we cater our marketing and our advertising to that demographic.
Perfect. Number 5. Know the landscape and buzzwords, okay? So perfect. In Joe's world, cash on cash return, what's the IRR? What's a buzzword going on in home development right now, Joe? Like
smart home technology.
Okay, perfect. Smart home technology. So just by speaking to certain investors and dropping phrases like smart home technology might get some of them kind of jacked because they feel like this is cutting edge, new, not, just the same old stuff. Am I right?
Yeah.
And same thing, for any industry, right? At LoveSAC right now in furniture, I'll tell you what's not in fashion right now amongst investors: retail stores. If you read all the articles about malls dying and this and that, now that doesn't mean we're going to stop opening them because we know that ours work incredibly well. But I'm going to focus my investor presentation on our amazing web business because, by the way, we invented the only couch that can be shipped for the internet. And focusing the whole pitch around that versus focusing on stores is a great thing to be, direct to consumer. That's a buzzword going on right now. So LoveSAC is the only direct to consumer couch company in the world. And that's a summary of my pitch. All right, number 6, you're selling yourself. All right, what am I talking about here? What am I talking about, Ryan? You're out there selling on the streets all the time.
Yeah, people do business with the ones that they want to do business, the ones they like, right? You're out there and you're not just selling your company, you're selling your personality, you're selling yourself on it.
That's right. I don't care how good your product is. If people don't like you, they're not going to buy from you. There's this great phrase that I've heard 1,000 times in my life. You probably heard this too, Joe. Investors most often invest in the jockey, not the horse.
Investors want to put their money not necessarily in the concept that it really has the potential. They obviously want that, but there's a million great concepts out there that if they're not implemented correctly with the right people, they're not going to go anywhere. So you're definitely investing in the jockey or the guy or the team that's going to make that.
This guy, will he make this work. I'm sitting here as an investor across the table thinking, the whole time he's talking, pitching me on whatever, right? I'm just gonna think, is this a guy who can just make this happen? And if I don't get that impression, I'm not investing, right? That's how investors, the best investors, view things. Because by the way, whatever money they give you to go grow your business, they already know you're gonna need more. You're gonna need more money. Is this a guy who can not only use my money well and grow the business, but then go get more later? You've got to be the jockey, because the horse ain't good enough usually to get it done. All right, number 7, last one. I never apologize for taking investors' money. Why? Because I got the goods. You got the goods. You got the best thing on the planet, do you not?
Absolutely.
And so are you ever going to feel bad for bringing someone in on your deal?
Never.
Why?
Because I believe in it. I own it. I'm going to make it happen.
And if you can't say that like that, you have no business taking other people's money to grow your business. You have got to know that you got the goods. This is an opportunity for them. How lucky would they be to own a little piece of this gem right here, right? How lucky. This business that these guys are building is tremendous. I just dropped in to say hello. I know that they have got something good. I'm advising, helping them out a little bit. Here in Salt Lake, raising money myself, meeting with investors all day. Stop by to see my good buddy Joe. Let me drop by and see what you're up to, Joe.
Anytime.
It's amazing.
Good to see you, man.
One last thing, no matter how good your company or your concept or your plan, no matter how sharp, good looking, capable, or articulate you may be, raising money is hard. Building a business is hard. It will take longer than you ever planned on. So plan on it. Comment below, thumbs up, like it, share it with a friend, post it on social media. Help me grow this thing. Help me make Get Off the Couch vlog something to inspire the world to go do big things. Go do big things.